What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the North Shore 9 Postgame Show, powered by Primanti Brothers. The Pirates win 6-5 tonight. Take the second game of a 4-game series. Second win in a row against the Cincinnati Reds. Dougie Fresh, how we doing?
We're excellent. The Pirates came back from 5-0. Second time this year. March 31st. Bailey Falter gives up 5 in the first. So some similarities today. Hey, a win against the Reds is always good. I'll take it every single time. A comeback win is even more fun. So yeah, it was a sloppy game, but it was still a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some sloppiness to it, but yeah, I mean, this was a fun. I mean, so I was listening to the game on the radio the first few innings. I got home, kind of put the game on my phone while I was finishing some stuff up, and then I put the game on the TV in the 5th inning with the Pirates down 5-0, and I'm just like, this one's not looking too great. And then as soon as I sit down, Doug, the Pirates just start scoring runs. Like it was incredible. It was a lot. Like for me, it was an awesome game. The Pirates basically won 6-0 from when I sat on my couch and started watching.
That's all you saw, right?
Yeah, it was great. But as you see in the comments here, Pirates win means we're giving away 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. So make sure you put #RaiseIt in the comments, just like all of these other people. That'll get you into the giveaway for 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. Again, Pirates win 6-5. They come back from a 5-0 deficit. We'll get into the whole game here, but let me tell you first about Bet Online. It's the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football, from the preseason NFL to college kicking off. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to the online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today. Use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet Online, the game starts here. Let's start from the beginning here. It was a bullpen game for the Reds. So you kind of knew going in that a David Bell managed bullpen game. It was probably just going to be an overall annoying game anyways, just for the sheer amount of times, Doug, that you would have to see David Bell walk out to the mound and make pitching changes. Luckily, he kind of stuck to the inning breaks to do most of the pitching changes, so it didn't contribute too much to the length of this game. But the thing about bullpen games, Doug, they can be really effective when your bullpen's on. But you're really relying on nobody blowing up in order for them to be effective. And the Reds had 2 guys blow up today. And the Pirates were able to take advantage and storm back from a 5-0 deficit. Let's Bailey Falter started for the Pirates. Gave up a lot of base runners. That wasn't really his sharpest outing. A lot of base runners. He got out of some jams early on in the 3rd inning, and then couldn't get out of a jam in the 4th inning. And by that point, 5-0 after 4, you're like, well, the 1-game winning streak was fun.
Yeah, not looking good, right?
Yeah, it's 5-0 after 4. You're not feeling good about that.
It's hard to have faith that this team is going to rattle off 6 runs, right? I mean, at least 6 runs, and then continue to hold them. It's not really been what we've been doing. But like you said, it was a Reds bullpen game. Their bullpen is not that good. As we saw, they're not the most fundamentally sound team either. So you're saying there's a chance, right? Because I mean, it wasn't like this was a big grand slam. I mean, they sort of had nickel and dime these runs, and
Yeah.
hey, yeah, in the end, it's a win. So I don't care about style points. I just want W's, and they got it, and a lot of contributions.
A lot of contributions, and I'll say this: shout out to Santiago Espinal. That dude. I don't know what he was doing on the base path today, Doug. I don't think I've ever seen a Major League Baseball player get thrown out 3 times on the bases in one game. He was like, he ran into 3 outs.
And he was safe, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he beat the throw each time, but then he goes off the bag. I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah, so I mean, if you were watching, he steals third base successfully in the 3rd inning. Really, he beats the throw, but yeah, hand comes off. Triolo does a good job of keeping the tag on him. So go to review, he's out. In the 4th inning, when the Reds were really like doing a lot of damage, he ran into an out as well. He ended up getting a 2-run single, scored Stuart Fairchild and Ahmed Rosario, but then he tries to advance to second on a throw. He gets thrown out. So that's another base runner just eliminated. I mean, who knows if he's not thrown out there? Maybe it's not 5-0. Maybe it's 6-0, 7-0. Like, that inning could keep going.
6 or 7-0. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that
then,
could have been a big difference.
Yeah. And then not only there, he doesn't stop there. He again in the, when was that? The 7th inning. 7th inning. I don't know what he was doing here. He singles to start the 7th against Dennis Santana. Noelvi Marte with just a regular fly ball. It wasn't even the deep center field. It was just like to regular center field.
It was not deep. No.
G1 Bays just camped under it. You could tell like he was a little caught off guard that someone would even try to tag up in this situation. Bay doesn't even get off like a good throw. He just throws it in the general vicinity of the base, and Espinal's out by 6 steps. So it's like, what?
Right. I mean,
I don't know what he was doing out
there.
The
pregame report says run on Bay, right? I mean, there's like, hey, you can run on Bay, but not on that one. I mean, that was not, like you said, that was not deep at all. Yeah, I mean, his only shot was that, that Bay would be so shocked he'd make a bad throw. And but it didn't require a great throw. It required a very average throw from a very average, outfielder or below average. And that was just, I don't know what was he trying to make up for the earlier mistakes, or just, man, that was just terrible. I mean, that might have been the worst of the 3. I mean, like I said, yeah, the other 2, like I said, he was kind of safe, and it was just a bad slide. But that one, he was dead to right. Ellie De La Cruz isn't going to make that one, right? That was a terrible decision. But thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure what he was doing, because he was getting on base. Like I mean, if you look at the box score today, he was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and you're like, oh man, Santiago Espinal had a really good game today. But it's like, this dude ran into 3 outs, ran into 3 outs on the bases. Right. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Very well could have run them into the loss, right? I mean, that's, like you said, all of those plays, had he been safe or whatever, could have changed the game easily. I mean, he goes 3 for 4, and they would have been better off if he struck out. So.
Max says he had a parlay for hits and Pirates money line, so he was getting hits, but then he was trying to make sure he got out afterwards. But no, it was a weird.
I have a strong feeling he's going to be a Pirate next year.
Yeah,
he's going to fit right in. We're going to make sure we get him. Yeah.
You're used to the Pirates making really dumb mistakes like that, and it was the Reds today. And the Reds are an aggressive team. Like, they take the extra base, they steal bases, but it wasn't working out for them today. So,
yeah, they lead baseball in steals, right? And I think they have like the 3rd best, or did coming into the game, success rate of stolen bases. But man, took a beating tonight.
Yeah. Not. if you're teaching like a little league team like how to run the bases, don't show them any Santiago Espinal tapes, or maybe show them the tape for what not to do. That would maybe be what you want to do.
This is what not to do, right?
Exactly. So again, back to Falter, not his best game. He ends up, getting through 5 innings, 6 hits. He gives up the 5 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Very like he didn't pitch well today. Especially in that 3rd inning, he danced out of some trouble. The 4th inning, he got tagged for 4 runs, and not his sharpest start. But you've got to give credit to the bullpen today. They shut the Reds down and allowed the Pirates offense to climb back into this thing. I mean, it was 5-0 in the 5th, and you need the bullpen to go out there and get 12 outs. And Dennis Santana got 6 outs for you. Chapman got 3 outs for you, and then David Bednar, again, shaky. He made it interesting, but he got the job done. So 4 scoreless innings from the bullpen today.
Yeah, and Dennis Santana, he's been good, right? He started out rough, and we were all critical, another scrap heap and all that sort of stuff. But man, he's been very effective, and I feel very confident when he comes in. And he got, like I said, he got some help from Espinal, but whatever. He got 6 outs, 6 needed outs. I mean, as they're all needed, but. He has just become a very reliable guy. He comes in, and I just like, all right, here's 2 good innings. I'm feeling good. Chapman is been lights out lately. And hey, Bednar, it was scary. He raised, my blood pressure went up a little bit. He got it done. Hopefully that's a step in him getting back into a groove. Every success has got to help build a little confidence. Right. He gives off a leadoff double and gets out of it. That's you got to take it.
Yeah. Before we talk about Bednar, I do want to spend just a little bit of time about Dennis Santana. This was his 6th straight outing where he didn't give up a run. He had gone 4 straight outings without giving up a hit. So like the guy's been, he had that blow up right when they first acquired him from the Yankees, right? It was against the Rockies in Colorado. He gave up 6 runs. But then after that, he's been really, really effective. He's got a little bit of a, like a personality to him too. I feel like he's almost this year's version of Dowry Moretta. Maybe not quite as as
I was going to say
Barucki,
but yeah,
but I think he's got that Moretta flash to him a little bit. Like the slider's nice. Got a good fastball. But yeah, I think he's like Max says, he's like a knockoff version of Dowry Moretta, and he's been getting the job done. He ended that 7th inning today with a strikeout, and he fell over, and he made it like he made it look like it was like the coolest guy to ever fall over. I've never seen someone fall over so gracefully as Dennis Santana did.
So cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
he was looking pretty smooth. I love the look on his face when Espinal got thrown out. He was just completely, just like, I'll take it.
Yep. And then you mentioned Chapman. He's been outstanding. He did get into some trouble today. He gave up a hit. He walked a batter, but 3 strikeouts. He was able to get out of it. And then Bednar, to Cliffy's point here, Bednar's been interesting this year because the results aren't there, but like you look at his stuff and all of his pitches are grading out well. His fastball, like he's throwing his fastball 98, 99 every time. I feel like it usually wasn't that. It wasn't like that. I do feel like there's a little bit of bad luck that Bednar's been going through because I don't know. I feel like the stuff has still been there. But today he gives up the leadoff double, but he strands the runner. So gets the job done. His 23rd save of the year. He needed that. He needs to get on a roll like he did in those middle months of the inning. He needs to get back into that.
Yeah, definitely. He just, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's bad luck. I don't know if it's bad conditioning. I don't just, I mean, I wonder. I mean, it looked like Bay may have been able to catch that double. You're wondering if there's a better right fielder out there. Maybe
That
not. I
too.
don't know. I mean, Bay's fast, but his route to the ball, did not look like the best. So you're right. I mean, but bad luck's a part of baseball, and I guess part of being really successful is avoiding bad luck. So
Yep.
he has to. But again, it's a save. It's his 23rd save. He pitched out of. I mean, it's a self-imposed jam, but he pitched out of it. And again, that's a step in the right direction. Hopefully, I mean, I'd feel better if we could win the next 4 or 5 games by 4 runs. So, we don't have to bring him in, give him a little more rest or whatever it takes, or, get 3-run saves instead of 1 run. But he did the job. And in the end, that's all you can ask. I feel a little better. I feel a little bit better. Next time he comes out, I'll feel a little better than I did, when him coming out with 1 run today and giving up a leadoff double. So, like I said,
you do want to
hopefully he gets back on that roll.
Yeah, you do want to get some insurance runs for him just to kind of get back on that roll. But yeah, he got the job done today. So let's shift things over to the offensive side. It was brutal the first few innings, Doug. The Pirates didn't get a base runner through their first 4 innings, and that was off of Buck Farmer, Sam Mull, and Tony Santillan. So, those 3 guys are pretty decent relievers, but
veritable nasty boys, right? Nasty boys 2024, right?
Yeah, they couldn't muster up a base runner off of those guys. But then luckily David Bell turns to the 34-year-old Alan Busnitz, who I've never heard of this dude before in my entire life. I looked him up. Right. He's pitched 6 games this year, I think. And he hadn't pitched this was his first game this year. He pitched 6 games last year, but he hadn't pitched in the majors since 2018 up to that point. So he had like a 5-year stretch where he didn't play any Major League Baseball. And he's pitched, 8 innings over the last 2 years for the Reds. But today was his first outing of the year after spending the whole season in AAA. And he came in the 5th inning. It was a combined perfect game, if that's a thing that exists in your mind. But he gives up a leadoff single to Joey Bart. Then Rowdy Tellez singles. And I said, they just kind of slapped the ball around to death. Bryan De La Cruz, who we've been kind of harping on since coming over, just like, where are the extra base hits, dude? Where are the homers? He gets an RBI double to get the Pirates on the board, 5-1 game. Billy McKinney, RBI ground out. Jared Triolo, RBI single. And then Ji-hwan Bae grounds out to the first baseman. Ty France throws the ball into left field. Triolo goes to third. Bae goes to second. IKF hits them in. It was just it was a rough inning for the Reds, but it was a good job of the Pirates taking advantage of the Reds' mistakes, taking advantage of the pitcher, the inexperienced pitcher who hadn't thrown any innings this season. That inning right there gave them life.
And not striking out, right? What the Pirates have done in these situations with guys on base is strike out. And they made contact, and good things happen when you make contact, right? And they sort of just literally just chipped away. There was no big blast, there was no bases clearing, hit or anything like that. And that's something they don't do. They haven't done in years. Is get just string hits together. So it was really nice to see. That's it. And it wasn't Cruz and McCutchen and Reynolds, right? It was. Joey Bart, who now is the best player in the world, but it was Rowdy Tellez and IKF and Bryan De La Cruz and Jared Triolo. So, and that's always been an issue for this team. What happens after you get past our 3rd hitter or our 4th hitter? So, you couldn't have asked for more from that group, and they kept that. That was a long inning, right? We don't have long innings. So it was unusual to see, and very welcome.
Yeah, I mean, eight batters came to the plate. There were 4 hits, 4 runs. The error, they took advantage of the error. They turned that into a run. There was a weird play there where Bryan De La Cruz was on second, Rowdy Tellez was on third, McKinney grounded out to second, and Bryan De La Cruz just stood there and like didn't go to third base.
Right.
It was one of the weirdest pieces of base running. It was a weird game today as far as base running goes. Santiago Espinal acted like he had never been on a baseball diamond before, and then Bryan De La
He didn't
Cruz,
know
I
the
was like,
rules,
what?
right?
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you running to third? But luckily, Jared Triolo picked him up with a single in the next at bat, so it didn't end up meaning anything. But that was weird.
Right. Yeah. De La Cruz had one of those the other day too. The outfielder mishandled the ball and he just stayed at first. He seems to have a real aversion of taking that extra base. Fits right in with the Pirates. Doesn't seem to know what to do. But yeah, it was weird looking, and you wondered, did somebody yell out, something? Did he hear something, or thought he saw something? Because it was strange. It's just, I'll stay here. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but I mean, that right there got the Pirates back into the game 5-4 after 5. That's when they turned to Dennis Santana. He gets a 1-2-3 sixth. And then in the bottom of the 6th, the Reds put in our old friend, member of the Shark Tank, Justin Wilson, the ageless wonder. Well, maybe not quite so ageless.
I can't believe.
Yeah, he's actually only 37.
He was showing the age tonight, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like he's older than 37, but yeah, 37. I feel like he was in the Pirates bullpen like 20 years ago. Yeah. So Justin Wilson.
I've forgotten.
Yeah. Justin Wilson comes in, and the Pirates hit him too. O'Neal Cruz starts it off with a double. It was just kind of a blooper that landed in fair territory down the left field line. Right. But a double for Cruz off of a lefty. He continues to hit lefties. And then Joey Bart, you just mentioned, greatest hitter in the world, right? And give him a lifetime contract. The chat wants to give him a lifetime deal. They're going to buy buying authentic Joey Bart jerseys, not the replica ones, nothing from DHgate.
Not replicas.
We're buying the $400.
They're paying $175, right?
We're buying the $400 authentic Joey Bart jerseys. But he ties up the game with an RBI single. Rowdy, another hit. Bryan De La Cruz, again, the guy who we've been just kind of harping on, like, you need to do something. He drives in the winning run today with a sacrifice fly. So yeah, it was they were able to get to those two guys, and that was all they needed to do because the bullpen was able to shut down the Reds.
Yeah. I mean, it was very out of character, right? We especially in games where we have a big inning and then we don't score, we don't get a hit the rest of the game. We don't put any pressure on, to again sort of, a couple hits, a sac fly. I mean, we tacked on, and we did it by stringing some hits and by making contact. Especially after these past couple games where we had 12 strikeouts, I think last night, 16 the night before. I don't think we hit double digits. We only had 8 strikeouts today. So
which honestly, in a bullpen game,
again, we make contact.
Isn't bad. Yeah, because when you are facing 8 innings of relief pitchers like they did, the relievers have good stuff, like across the board. Even your bad relievers have good stuff. They're
bad relievers are still right.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I thought with the bullpen game we'd strike out 15 times.
Right? Yeah. So the
especially
fact
how we looked early, right?
So being able to avoid the strikeouts, being able to come through with runners in scoring position, and when you did make when they did make outs in those 2 innings, they were quality outs. You look in the bottom of the 5th. The first out was a Billy McKinney RBI ground out. The second out was an Isaiah Kiner-Falefa RBI ground out. In the 6th, the first out was a sacrifice fly. So they were making productive outs in those 3 innings. They had 3 outs that contributed to runs. Half of their runs scored today were on outs. So just putting the ball in play, good stuff happens. A lot easier to score when you hit the ball.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's been sort of, like I said, a Pirates thorn in their side all year, is that, again, striking out, hitting into double plays, just, pop-ups, just bad at bats, bad results with, second and third, nobody out type thing. And so if they're able to get these guys over and get them in, it was good to see. And hopefully it's a sign of things, that this team that De La Cruz is a little better, than what he's shown. Obviously he's not as bad as he's been. Maybe Rowdy can get going again. Joey Bart can keep it going. Kiner Falefa, you and I have talked about him. He's just a smart winning player that seems to make good plays at the right time. So, if you could just get a little production from that part of, I won't even say the bottom of the lineup, but from 4, 5, 6, 7, it would be welcome. So, and that's what they did it in 2 separate innings tonight, and obviously we needed every one of those runs.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 today, drove in 4 runs.
Yeah, very out of character for this team. So. It was much needed, and continue to see it next, through the next couple games and the rest of the season would be great.
Yeah. No, good stuff today. Just some other things I want to mention here. Let's say O'Neal Cruz with the hit and a walk. He had another good game. Brian Reynolds stole a base. Michael A. Taylor stole 2 bases as a pinch runner in the 8th inning. Stole second, then stole third. So that was fun to see. But yeah, overall, just it was a well played game. For the second half for the Pirates, like they didn't get anything going there in the first half of the game, but everyone executed in the second half of the game, and that was enough because the Reds were making errors, throwing the ball all over the place, running themselves into outs. So they were able to take advantage of the mistakes.
Yeah, the Reds were very piratey, right? And the first half of the game, right? First half of the game, we couldn't get a runner on base, and we couldn't get anybody out. And then from then on, right, from the 5th inning on, didn't give up another run and scored 6. A complete 180, from both, the pitching side and the hitting side, and. Very, really, like I said, very impressive. It's not what we're used to seeing, and certainly what we haven't been seeing of late. So, again, I love to beat the Reds. So, I don't care what the standings are. I don't care the circumstance. I always want to beat the Reds. So,
always want to beat the Reds.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. Let's give away some sandwiches, Doug. So if you haven't yet, make sure you put
some hungry people.
Make sure you put hashtag raise it in the comments, just like Zach here, just like Bucko Bro here. Hashtag raise it. That'll get you into the drawing for 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. So I'll give you a couple seconds to do that right now. While you're doing that, like the video, subscribe to the page. If you're listening on the podcast to late tonight or tomorrow morning on your drive, it's Saturday, so no one's driving to work. But if you're listening to us on your Saturday, we appreciate you guys as well. We are at 79 entries, Doug. Let's see if we can get to 80 before we give this away. But again, hashtag raise it gets you in there. That
takes this one out. I want to give somebody else a chance to win. So
you're sitting it out. All right. Well, here we go. Let's give away some sandwiches. This is back-to-back nights giving away.
I saw Bucko Mike's name in there. He's always complaining.
Yeah. All right. Congratulations, David. David is the winner of 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. David's a long time listener. So congrats, David. Glad to see you win. I think that's your first win of the first win of this season. So congrats, David. You know how to reach us, either DM North Shore 9 on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want to use. Or you can email us northshore9@gmail.com. That'll get you that'll get us the opportunity to get you out your 2 free sandwich coupons. So good stuff. Tomorrow, Saturday game. Jake Woodford against doesn't look like the Reds have announced the starter as of right now.
They haven't announced it yet.
Yeah. I thought Andrew Abbott was supposed to start tonight, or Andrew Abbott. I thought he was supposed to start tonight. But I don't know. Oh, he was placed on the IL today. So I guess that's why. But roster resource thinks Julian Aguilar is going to pitch tomorrow, who has pitched one major league game ever. He is the Reds' number 7 prospect.
Oh,
he had a 4.50 ERA in AAA this year. So that's who I think we're starting against. That's who Fangraphs thinks we're starting against. So take it with a grain of salt.
Hopefully we can. Yeah. Hopefully we'll give him a very rude welcome. So
yeah, let's hope so.
Keep doing what they've done these past 2 games, right? These past, scored some runs.
100%. Real quick before we leave here, this is a very unserious thing, but Apple TV. What do you think about the product? I don't know about you, Doug. I think the production value of the Apple TV broadcasts is the best baseball production of a game I've ever seen. It's just clean. It just looks clean.
It is. And I do like the, strikeout probability and all that sort of stuff. I think they do a pretty good job. I know people complain. I mean, listen, I can remember watching Vin Scully 7 years in a row telling me that Andrew McCutcheon's mother sang the national anthem before a game. He's the greatest of all time, and he wasn't bringing new. You know what I'm saying? It's 162 games. There's only, we run into this. What do I say about Paul Skeens tonight? There's only so much you could say. There's only so much you can add. I listen to the other teams' radio broadcasts. There's not a lot of great announcing going on. Because you know why? Because it's hard to come up with something new. We've all watched these, teams for years and years and years. We know all these little tidbits and things. So the broadcasters don't bother me too much. I mean, I get why, people are annoyed by them, but yeah, I think Apple TV visually is it's like you said, clean. I enjoy watching it on Apple TV, and I don't know. I can listen to Bob Walk on the radio if I need to. So
yeah, I think with me, it's first off, you can change the audio feed. So if you want to listen to the Pirates radio broadcast, you can plug that in right over top of it, right? So I do like that. I think I'm not a huge fan of the probability in the corner. Like I could do without that, but the rest of it, it's a really good picture. I feel like it's just a really good video. And then just the score bug, it looks really good. Oh, it's just a clean product, I think. Anytime you're watching a national broadcast, it's always going to be a little bit different. You're going to feel weird because you're just used to your homer announcers, right? But yeah,
they're not homers. They're not homers, exactly.
Yeah, I enjoy the Apple TV broadcast. So, all right, but let's get out of here.
It doesn't bother me at all. And I like the Pirates being on national TV, right? I mean, we go years without the Pirates being on national TV, so it's like, okay, this is great. So
yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. Appreciate everyone in the chat. You guys were awesome tonight. It was a fun game. Pirates win 6-5. They go to 61 and 67 on the year, pulled within a half a game of the Reds. And tomorrow at 6:40 p.m. So Saturday.
Let's go for a 4-game sweep. I would love a 4-game sweep of the Reds.
It's still alive.
And you and I will be here Sunday to discuss it. Right. Yep.
There we go. So, let's bring out the brooms.
Because I think we're back on Sunday. Yep. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
We'll catch you guys later. Thanks.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.